Okay, so Morocco. I mean, just saying the words, like, it conjures up so many things, right? You think of palaces, you know, those like shimmering desert cities.
Hmm.
You think of the Atlas Mountains. And oh man, that incredible like mix of scents, you know, like
Mhm.
spices and mint tea. And it's just a place that like has always held like this magnetic pull for people. And today, well, we're diving into that.
Yeah. I mean, you could spend hours scrolling through travel sites trying to figure out where to go, but we've got you covered. We found this awesome resource that highlights 12 must-visit cities in Morocco. It's like a cheat sheet to understanding this amazing country.
Exactly. And I mean, whether you're picturing yourself like haggling in these bustling souks or like standing, you know, among ancient ruins,
Yeah.
Morocco has got it all. So these 12 cities, they're like the keys to unlocking those experiences. And what we're going to do today is break down what makes each city unique. You know, pull out those essential insights, those little details that really give you a feel for the place.
Right. So are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely. So let's start with a city that's practically synonymous with Morocco,
Hmm.
like a place that really embodies that North African mystique.
Marrakesh.
Marrakesh.
Yeah.
It is one of North Africa's oldest and most influential cities. I mean, you really feel that history when you're there. And one of the best ways to experience it, our sources say, stay in a dar or a riad. They're these traditional Moroccan homes that have been converted into like these super luxurious guest houses.
Oh, wow. I mean, can you imagine? You step into this like tranquil courtyard and it's like you've been transported to another world. And from there, our material says you can head to the old city, the walled Casbah. Check out all these historical monuments.
Yeah. And there are some real standouts, like the Bahia Palace, not just grand architecture, but I mean, you look at the intricate stucco work,
Yeah.
the cedar ceilings, and you get a glimpse into this like opulence, the lives of the viziers who lived there.
Yeah. And then you've got the Saladian tombs,
Yeah.
which like offer this like peaceful glimpse into the past. And of course, you can't forget the Kutubia Mosque from the 12th century, with that iconic minaret that dominates the Marrakesh skyline. It's amazing how those monuments tell a story, you know, like about the different dynasties and styles across centuries. But it's not just the buildings, right? Our sources also talk about the sensory experience of Marrakesh, like the food.
Oh, the food. One of
Yeah.
our sources just says eat as much street food as you can.
Yeah.
And honestly, great advice, but apparently they have some really great restaurants too, like
Yeah.
really high-end places if you want that refined Moroccan dining experience. But for me, the magic happens at night in Jima El Fna.
Oh, yeah. That square, it comes alive at night. Our source describes it as this bustling space with food stalls, storytellers, snake charmers, musicians, you name it. A feast for the senses. Almost overwhelming, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, like an experience you'll never forget. Now, our sources have a couple of practical tips for Marrakesh, too. One is Le Jardin Secret, which sounds like this beautiful escape from the craziness of the Medina. Tranquil gardens, towers with city views, like a little oasis.
And it's only like 80 M80 to get in. Not bad for some peace and quiet. The other tip is to do a Moroccan cooking class, which often comes with a souk tour and they teach you how to make tagine. I mean, how cool is that?
Right, you bring home a skill. That's the best souvenir.
Yep.
Okay, we've had our fill of Marrakesh. Now let's move on to another ancient and profoundly significant city, Fez.
Fez, steeped in history. Our sources say it's one of the oldest cities, not just in Morocco, but in all of Africa. And you can feel that weight of history when you're walking through the streets. And like Marrakesh, it has some incredible dars and riads. Some of them are so extravagant, they feel like indoor palaces.
I mean, just imagine staying in a place like that.
Yeah.
Our sources say to start your exploration at the Mosque and University Kairouan,
Mm.
which is one of the world's oldest universities. Like, think about all the scholars who've walked those halls over the centuries.
Mind-blowing, right? And then there's the Al Adarine Madrasa and the Najirine Museum of Wooden Arts and Crafts,
Yeah.
both showcasing the incredible artistry of Moroccan design.
And for a truly unique experience, our sources recommend a food tour and a visit to the leather dyeing factories. Those tanneries are a sight to behold with all those vibrant colors. But I hear the smell is pretty strong.
Definitely an assault on the senses. But it's also a window into history, a tradition that's been passed down for generations. Our material also mentions exploring landmarks like the Marinid tombs, which have these amazing panoramic views and showcase the architecture of the Marinid dynasty who ruled in the 13th to 15th centuries. And also Bab Giza and Borj Soud, different perspectives of the city. And of course, you have to end the day with some delicious Moroccan food and mint tea. Pure bliss.
Absolutely. Now for Fez travel tips, our sources highlight Bab Bou Jalaud, the Blue Gate. It's the main entrance to the medieval Medina, and it's a pretty impressive landmark in itself.
Oh, yeah. That blue gate is like stepping back in time. And once you pass through it, you've got the Talak Bagira and Talashkira, which are these bustling streets lined with cafes, perfect for soaking up the atmosphere. They also recommend booking a guided walking tour, especially in Fez, because it's such a dense and historically significant city. A guide can help you navigate the Medina, explain the history of the madrasas, and give you context for the tanneries.
Makes sense. It's like having an expert unlock all the secrets of the city.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen the wonders of Marrakesh and Fez. Let's head to Morocco's capital now, Rabat.
Rabat. It's a bit different from Marrakesh and Fez. As a capital city, it has a more modern feel, but it's still incredibly rich in culture and history. And get this, it's also a beach city with parks and a beautiful coastal architecture.
Whoa, a capital city with beaches. I'm in. Our sources say to start your exploration at the Kasbah of the Udayas, which is this ancient fortress in the heart of the city. I always find those Kasbahs so fascinating.
Me too. They're like little time capsules. And right there in the Kasbah is the Udayas National Museum of Adornment, which sounds like a great place to learn about Moroccan craftsmanship and artistry. And from there, our sources suggest heading to the Hassan Tower, which is this incredible 12th century minaret.
Oh, and we can't miss the ancient Roman ruins at Chella, Roman ruins in Morocco. It just goes to show how much history is layered in this country. And our sources say you can get amazing panoramic views from there, too. Then for a more modern cultural experience, there's the Mohammed VI Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art.
Which our sources say is a must-visit for anyone interested in modern Moroccan art. Because Moroccan culture isn't just about the past, it's about the present and the future, too. And to round off your Rabat experience, our sources suggest ending the day at the Lighthouse of Rabat and enjoying the coastal views.
Sounds like a pretty perfect day. Now for Rabat travel tips. They emphasize the importance of the Mohammed VI Museum if you're an art enthusiast. And if you're looking for some retail therapy, they recommend Suica Street in the Medina. It's the go-to spot for ceramic spices and jewelry.
Sounds like a shopper's paradise. Now let's head north to a city that's famous for its unique and striking aesthetic, Chefchaouen, the Blue City.
Ah, Chefchaouen. Even just pictures of it are mesmerizing. Our sources describe it as one of Morocco's most beloved destinations. And I mean, you can see why, right? It's like stepping into a dream with those blue-washed buildings and that ancient Medina.
It really is. Our material talks about getting lost in that maze of blue alleyways, discovering ancient palaces and architecture around every corner, and checking out the historic Kasbah, all the cute little shops.
And can you imagine just finding a cafe, sipping some mint tea, and taking it all in? Surrounded by all that blue architecture. Sounds idyllic. Our sources also mention that they have some great walking tours and a good selection of bars and ryads. Some are even described as like hidden palace retreats.
And if you're into hiking, our sources recommend hiking up to the Bouzafir Mosque, which has these incredible panoramic views of the entire city. Imagine the photos you could take from there.
Insta-worthy, for sure. Now, for Chefchaouen travel tips, they highlight Plaza Uta El Hammam. It's the central square with cafes, restaurants, the Kasbah Museum, and the Grand Mosque. So a great place to hang out and people watch.
And just on the edge of the Medina is the Ras El Ma waterfall, which our sources say is a popular spot for locals to socialize and even do their laundry. A nice little peaceful escape.
Sounds lovely.
Okay.
Okay, we've experienced the blue hues of Chefchaouen. Now let's travel to another historically significant Moroccan city, Meknes.
Meknes. It might get overshadowed by some of its neighbors, but our sources say it's definitely worth a visit. They suggest starting in Aladim Square, which is kind of like Marrakesh's Jamal El Fna, with its performers, vendors, street food, and tea. And from there, you can explore the walled city.
They specifically recommend the Darjamai Museum and the Mausoleum of Moulay Ismail, which has some pretty spectacular architecture. Those royal mausoleums are always so ornate and tell you so much about Moroccan history. And then there's the Laboul Historical Garden and the ancient city gates like Bab Dar Lakbira.
And for food, our sources rave about the cuisine in Meknes. They say the restaurants and rooftop terraces are amazing. Traditional dishes like tagine and pastilla, plus incredible desserts. But maybe the biggest reason to visit Meknes is its proximity to the Roman ruins of Volubilis.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one. You can easily visit these well-preserved Roman ruins while staying in a historic Moroccan city. Pretty unique. Now, for Meknes travel tips, our sources highly recommend experiencing a traditional hammam, which is a Moroccan bathhouse. They do say to check the schedule, though, because they have separate hours for men and women.
Makes sense. And for history buffs and anyone interested in architecture, they recommend checking out the Harry Aswani granaries. Apparently, it's this amazing example of 17th century engineering with these massive storage rooms and a really clever water system. Like those little details are what make history come alive.
Totally. Okay, we've explored ancient Medinas and Roman ruins. Now let's switch gears and head to a city with a more modern vibe, Casablanca.
Casablanca, it's totally different. It's this sprawling, fast-paced city with a big personality. It's like the economic heart of Morocco. And of course, it's home to one of the most iconic landmarks in the country, the Hassan II Mosque.
Yeah, that mosque is just breathtaking. Definitely a must-see.
Yeah.
Our sources recommend starting your exploration in the Old Medina with a walking tour, a good way to get your bearings in a big city.
And beyond the mosque in the Medina, there's the Royal Palace and some cool art museums like the Villa of Arts. So you get a taste of both the history and the modern culture.
And for food, Casablanca's got it going on. They have everything from home-cooked meals to high-end restaurants. Our sources also mention the night markets where you can find all kinds of treats and crafts.
Sounds lively. Now, for travel tips, they recommend taking a stroll along La Corniche Promenade. It's this beautiful waterfront area with cafes and ocean views, a perfect escape from the city. They also suggest booking a guided city tour if you want to see the main sites like the Hassan II Mosque and the Old Medina efficiently.
A good way to maximize your time in a busy city.
Okay.
Let's head north again to a city with a unique location and a really interesting history, Tangier.
Tangier, right on the tip of Morocco overlooking Spain. It feels like a world away from Europe, even though it's just a short ferry ride across the Strait of Gibraltar. Our sources talk about its history as a haven for writers and artists in the 20th century, which gives it this cool bohemian vibe. And it also has a long and rich history dating back to ancient times.
I mean, think about all the famous people who were drawn to Tangier. Our sources suggest starting your exploration at the Casbah Museum, then hitting the Gran Sacco for some shopping.
Right.
And checking out the Palais des Institutions Italiennes Palace and the Bab Casbah. And for a truly authentic experience, they say to stay in a traditional dar or riad in the old city.
And they specifically recommend Dar Noor, which is one of Tangier's oldest guest houses. It's in the Casbah and apparently has incredible views. Sounds like a special place to stay. They also highly recommend a visit to the Hercules Caves and Cap Spartel, where the Atlantic meets the Mediterranean. They say a guided tour is the best way to appreciate it all.
Wow. I can only imagine what it must be like to see those two bodies of water meet. Okay, from the northern tip, let's head south down the coast to Essaouira.
Essaouira. It has a different vibe from Tangier. More relaxed, more artsy. Our sources describe it as this beautiful coastal city with amazing architecture, food, and a super friendly vibe.
Sounds like paradise. Our sources say to start in the ancient Medina and explore the historic streets. Then head to the port of Essaouira Squala and have some seafood tagine and mint tea by the water. Sounds like a must-do.
Definitely. They also highlight some architectural gems like Beit de Cura and the Rempart Mogador. And for a central gathering spot, there's Place Moulay Hassan. Perfect for people watching or maybe going on a food tour.
For Essaouira travel tips, they recommend Villa Morocco. It's this beautiful historic riad with a spa and a hammam. And if you're lucky enough to be there at the right time, they say to check out the Nawuwo World Music Festival, which sounds like this amazing mix of Moroccan and international music.
If you can make it work with your schedule, it's supposed to be incredible.
No.
Let's continue our journey south to Agadir.
Agadir. Our sources describe it as a beautiful coastal city with natural landmarks and attractions. Sounds like your classic beach destination. They recommend staying at a resort or a traditional dar or riad near the coast and check out the restaurants.
But Agadir's got more than just beaches. Our sources suggest a tour of Paradise Valley, which has swimming holes and waterfalls. And if you're into surfing or golf, you can drive north to Tag Hazout, which is considered the surfing center of Morocco.
So a nice mix of relaxation and activities. For Agadir travel tips, they highlight the Souk El Had Market. Great for crafts, spices, and produce. They say it's open every day except Monday and to bring cash.
And for panoramic views, they recommend visiting the Agadir Ufella Kasbah, which you can reach by cable car.
A cable car ride up to a Casbah. Sounds like a fun way to see the city. Okay, let's head inland now to a city that's a gateway to some pretty incredible landscapes. Ouarzazate.
Ouarzazate. If you want to see the Atlas Mountains and the Sahara Desert, this is the place to start. Our sources say if you're dreaming of a camel trek across the desert, Ouarzazate is the place to be. The city itself has an ancient Kasbah and some luxury accommodations with desert views.
They recommend taking a walk through the Tour Kasbah, which has art galleries, shops, and restaurants. But the real draw is the desert tours. They often include overnight camping under the stars. I mean, can you imagine?
Oh, yeah. The night sky in the Sahara is supposed to be unreal. For a travel tip in Ouarzazate, our sources are really enthusiastic about the Atlas Film Studios tour. Apparently, it's one of the largest film studios in the world, and they've filmed tons of famous movies there, like Gladiator and Lawrence of Arabia. They do tours every day, and they suggest checking the website for hours and prices.
So cool. A must-do for movie buffs.
Good do.
Okay, we're nearing the end of our Moroccan adventure, but we've still got 2 more cities to go. Let's head back to the coast to Asila.
Asila. It's a smaller city, but our sources say it's worth a visit. It's known for its whitewashed buildings and its Medina, which has some interesting historical monuments.
They recommend starting at the Torre de San Francisco and then the Alhambra Tower. Then just wandering the streets, checking out cafes and boutiques, and ending up at the beach. Sounds like a relaxing day.
For food, they recommend Port Forfeit, a restaurant near the beach that serves fresh seafood and traditional Moroccan dishes. And if you're staying in Tangier, they say you can do a guided day trip that includes Cap Spartel, the Hercules Caves, and Asila's Medina. A good way to see a lot in one day.
Efficient and fun. And finally, our last stop is the beautiful city of Tétouan.
Tétouan. It's in the Rif Mountains of northern Morocco. And our sources say it's known for its food, its architecture, and its friendly atmosphere.
They suggest starting in the Medina with its whitewashed buildings, then visiting the Royal Palace and the Bab al-Okla Gate. And to learn more about the city's history and culture, they recommend the Ethnographic Museum and a walking tour of the Medina and the old Tanner's Quarters.
And at night, they say to head to Fedin Park. You can find performers there and some of the city's best cafes and restaurants. Live music, tea, and desserts. Sounds like a good time.
For Tétouan travel tips, our sources recommend the Archaeological Museum if you're interested in history.
Well, there you have it. 12 amazing Moroccan cities, each one unique and full of history and culture. From the ancient cities of Marrakesh and Fez to the coastal beauty of Essaouira and Agadir, the blue magic of Chefchaouen, the modern energy of Rabat and Casablanca, the desert gateway of Ouarzazate, and the hidden gems of Tangier, Asila, and Tétouan.
It's amazing how much diversity Morocco has, right? We've talked about everything from ancient history to modern art, bustling markets, to quiet beaches, stunning landscapes, to delicious food. There's truly something for everyone in Morocco.
Absolutely. So as you're listening to this, I want you to think about which of these cities has piqued your interest the most. What aspect of Moroccan culture are you most drawn to? The history, the architecture, the food, the landscapes. Each of these cities has so much to offer. Layers of history and unforgettable experiences just waiting to be discovered.